Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gitsapalooza. It's been a while since I've done a little channel announcement slash catch up with you guys. So I'm hoping to make this short just to let you know what's going on. Had a lot of fun getting ready for Adepticon. I think the tournament went well. We had almost a sold out tournament, which would have been 31, and I think somebody signed up. So we did have 32 people signed up. However, we did have a lot of no shows. I talked to the Adepticon people, and a lot of tournaments had no shows on Sunday. So Sunday was just a bad day. However, the 22 people that were there seemed to have a really good time. It was fun. Our contribution by GCT was fantastic. Gordon was very generous, not only with giving out prizes and things, but also with being our fallback judge because I'm not an expert in the rules. You guys, I've only been playing for a year, so it's hard enough for me to keep track of what my own army does, much less what everybody else's army does. However, I was happy that most of the questions I was asked, I knew the game well enough that I was able to answer them confidently. And Gordon was there as backup, so when something came up, their booth was right behind us. So it took me 15 seconds to run over there and tap him on the shoulder, and that's when he wasn't with us, and he was with us quite a bit. So it was really fun. The tables were beautiful. Not just patting my own back. I had a lot of help. I only produced 8 of the tables. The other 8 were done by Tyler and Justin and friends of mine who came in from people I just met that volunteered to help and bring stuff in. So it was really good. It was really fun. People had a good time. We got our champion. I'm delighted, and I'm looking forward to next year. And I think next year it falls into the Masters circuit in essence, where the winner gets to help design a figure. So there are Masters tournaments in the UK. There's one in Europe, and now there's one in the US. I'm really excited about that, and I'm privileged to, at least for the time being, have the honor of shepherding that through. I would really like to get to the point where we have a consistent 32-person turnout. We can certainly go bigger than that. The problem, as always, is getting boards and terrain done for that. So, and I'm done. I may build 1 or 2 more boards just for my own self and for fun. But if we want to get beyond the level we were at this year, which would have been 16 boards or 32 people, I'm going to need help from you guys. So I challenged all the players at the end of the tournament to go home, to paint their armies, and to make one beautiful board and then bring it back next year. And so for those of you who are watching this, who are in the US, who are thinking about coming to Adepticon and participating in a master's level competition, I will give you the same challenge. The board can be a mat, the board can be an actual physical board that you decorate. I will be coming out well in advance with the kinds of objectives we're going to be using, so you'll have a chance to make those. I'll be doing lots of tutorials on terrain and objectives and things like that, so I'll give you all the help I can. But if we want to push this game beyond this kind of 32-person ceiling that myself and my friends can support, then we're going to need the community at large in the US to kind of kick in and help us out. So that being said, it was a wonderful time. I had a great time. Gordon was wonderful, very helpful, very generous. I got to meet Alistair. He's a really cool guy. So if you're doing some of the circuits, I think Alistair goes and helps out at the booth. He's really cool. So take some time to get to know him. Let's see. What else was I going to talk about? I will be doing battle reports again fairly soon. I'm trying to figure out, I've been, most of you guys have been working on Risen Sun now for quite a while. I put that out of my head while I was getting ready for Adepticon because I didn't want to be confusing rules in my head since I'm shaky at best. So now I'm trying to figure out the Risen Sun. I realize it's not so different that it's a different game, but it's different enough that I can see where it might get confusing, and I might end up mixing rules from both versions into the same game. So I'm trying to avoid that. So I'm reading through the rules, trying to learn them, and then probably my friend Ben and I we'll be doing some full-length battle reports, probably small point values or small number of figures where we're going through and we're playing and we're using Risen Sun rules, and wherever we come to a point where Risen Sun rule differs from the New Dawn rules, we will point that out. So you can say, okay, here we are. Here's a figure that used to get cover for being here, but now it doesn't, or something like that. So we'll be taking care of that. The other thing I'm going to do, you guys may have seen the log making tutorial, and if you've been watching the Facebook page, the Bushido fans page, you've seen some pictures of some fungi that I made, and I am a biologist. I'm actually a plant pathologist, mundanely, and I had a great interest in fungi. So it's kind of fun for me to be able to make fungi, and somebody commented that I was throwing biology at you by using the word photosynthesis in the log video. So I thought I would have some fun, and you guys got to cut me a little slack here. I'm going to be throwing more biology at you. I'm going to teach you a little bit of mycology while I'm teaching you how to make the mushrooms. And the other thing I thought about is that log video got away from me. That was not intended to be a 45-minute video, but it ended up that way. And the problem is that if there's one specific thing that you had forgotten how to do and you wanted to go back and see how I did it, now you've got to sort through 45 minutes of video to figure out where it is. So for the mushrooms, I'm going to do some mushroom tutorials on how to make certain kinds of mushrooms. And when I mean certain kinds of mushrooms, I mean specific species. But in the process, you will also learn, obviously, the technique. I'm not going to teach you any mycology that you don't need to know to make the models. I'm just going to kind of teach you why the mushroom shapes are the way they are and how to make them. So I intend these tutorials to be very small, like micro tutorials. And there's going to be a mycology not emphasis, but there's going to be some mycology thrown in so you understand why things are the way they are. So I'm going to call these my microscopic mycological tutorials, except that's much too complicated. So I'm going to call it the micro-mycotoot. So there will be some micro-mycotoots coming out. We'll talk about how to make some, the mushrooms. If you saw them on Facebook, they have spots on them. So you have like a red cap with white spots. Well, there's a reason for that. There's a biological reason why those spots are there. It's not just polka dots or colorations. There's a physical reason why there are white spots on certain types of mushrooms. And I made one that looked like a morel, and I was amazed. I wasn't even trying to make a morel. And for those of you in the States, and I assume in other parts of the world, you have morels as well, which are a special edible mushroom that you find in the spring. And so I'm just going to go through and I'm going to pick a specific species, and I'm going to show you how to make it physically, and then I'm going to show you how to paint it so it looks right. And then eventually my son this summer, Carl, is going to Japan for a couple of months to basically take his sophomore year in college in Japanese in Japan. And I've asked him to bring me back a Japanese book on fungi, like a field guide. So if he can find one, he's going to be at a university. He should be able to find something in the bookstore. And then I'll start actually working on Japanese species. So it should be a lot of fun and interesting and entertaining. And it may be the way I do tutorials in the future. And that is to keep them very small, very specific, so that it's very easy for you to go back and check it out later without having to listen to me drone on for 40 minutes when you're really only interested in 5 minutes. So I think that's it. That's all I wanted to say. One more thing. I struggled over this, but I think I'm going to ask you guys anyway. Normally I don't have my channel is not monetized. I have no intention of monetizing my channel. But I don't ask you to subscribe or to comment or to like. But I'm going to ask you to subscribe, comment, and like, just because I like the feedback. It helps me. For some reason, the last couple of videos, I've actually gotten a bunch of comments from people that are not my friends. Not that they're not my friends, but you know what I mean, people I don't know. And it's been kind of fun to be able to read their comments. And I don't get offended. I have very thick skin. So if you didn't like the video, that's fine. You can tell me that too. I'm cool with that. And I can't make them any better unless I get some feedback from you. So I'm going to ask you from now on to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, you can, tell me up yours if you want to, but if the mood strikes you, you can push the little button, and that'd be cool. And that, my friends, is all. So have a great day. Keep working on your boards. Keep painting your figures. Keep working on your tactics. I'm excited about the new edition coming out, and we will be definitely doing a number of videos running up to the new edition. So it should be a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me on Gitsapalooza. You guys have a great day.